All right. Welcome to Tina and Karen Do the Tube. I am Karen.
This is Tina. Welcome to 2022. You'd hear this from our last video, but apparently there were some technical difficulties, so
Yeah,
we have to reintroduce our 2022 segment.
we've got big hopes for 2022. Tina and Karen is going to go viral. We're going to be the biggest thing on YouTube since, I don't know, the Chocolate Rain Kid.
Dancing Revolution, man.
Oh, that guy was big.
Yeah.
The evolution. You mean the evolution of dance guy?
Sure. That's
Dancing
what I meant.
Revolution?
It's been so long I can't remember the name of the video.
Man, you ever think about old YouTube, like YouTube really back in the day? Because I just
No.
think that YouTube's become kind of just like a corporate's not the right word, but like a mainstream platform.
Yeah, it's more, I think it's the one like second biggest viewing platform
What's number
or
one?
biggest
Is
viewing
Facebook
platform.
number one? Please don't be
No.
TikTok.
Wait, say that again.
I was saying please don't be TikTok. What is the number one viewing platform?
I I think it's YouTube or it could be YouTube.
Well, I was gonna say it could be Facebook. I think there's few. The point is there's very few websites that kind of match YouTube's size at this point. It's
It's
unstoppable.
always weird when I run into like older videos. Like how often do you run into older videos now? Like say older than 2015.
Ooh, before 2015. See, that's the funny thing. I was like, I think YouTube had a major change. I think early YouTube was people putting up things that they thought were fun and kitschy. And then people started to realize YouTube could be much more than just cat videos.
Yeah. It's
and
like
then
these cat videos are getting a lot of attention. What else can get a lot of attention?
I think starting in the sort of mid 2010s, you started to see much more vloggers and much more commentators. But there were commentators before the mid 2010s. But there was Dave. What's that guy's name? He's been on YouTube for like 15 years. He's one of the bigger ones. Dave Franco.
Philip DeFranco?
Philip DeFranco. Philip DeFranco.
Oh yeah. I
So-
still watch Philip.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I mean it's a good like 15-minute segment to get your news for
Okay.
a day.
I might subscribe to Philip DeFranco. Maybe we'll like react to a DeFranco video if anything goes like really.
Let's react to the news of the day.
No, I mean sure. If he's got
Okay.
as
I'll
long
be down for that.
as long as someone has a entertaining or interesting way of presenting the news, I got no problem just reacting to it. As long as he's got something to say. If he's really just cut and dry, then no, we wouldn't be watching that. But anyone who's got something interesting to say, I will react to.
Yeah, he's more of a news guy, not like an opinion guy. So
He doesn't do opinion?
he
thought he did.
occasionally inserts his opinion, but it's more about the news.
Really? Okay, so he just reads it?
Yeah.
Okay. well,
I kind of lets the audience know. He's like, "What's your thoughts?"
Yeah. That's what you have to do almost. By the way, hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts below. But that's what you kind of have to do, right? Because you got to make it feel like a community when really it's about us, you
Yeah,
and me.
we let you know our thoughts, so why don't you let us know your thoughts?
No, fuck it. They need to know our thoughts. We're the important ones. We're on YouTube. And we have 20 subscribers. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Yeah, was it just like an access thing why people got YouTube, or
It was
or started watching most of their media online versus through cable?
I think it had a lot to do with the fact that it cut out the middleman.
Hmm.
People like the fact that was just everyday people posting. Anyone could make it big on YouTube. It's not
That's true.
like even if you were trying to make it as an entertainer, in the old media days, you had to go through the proper channels. You had to make it in Hollywood, and you basically had to kiss up to the producers. So it became something where everyone who had made it was, in some ways, not a phony, but like it lacked authenticity, and we knew that you like had to, bend over for the devil in order to get your position. Quite
YouTube?
literally in many of the cases, yeah.
Me literally been.
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
was it YouTube just ended their YouTube Originals series that this week, I believe.
Wait, YouTube has a YouTube original series?
Exactly.
But that's
yeah.
sort of isn't that like contradictory?
It is kind of, but they
is
put their backing behind it.
That's terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the opposite of what YouTube's supposed to be.
Yeah, but they would try and get like YouTube stars in the YouTube originals.
Well, they did those YouTube rewinds, and
no, that's a different thing.
Yeah, but have you seen how like they stopped doing those because so many people thought they were cringy and they stopped watching them?
Yeah, the funny part about YouTube is it's not really great at creating its own content.
It's just, well, it's a corporation trying to give you the whitewash version of its product. When really there's so much more interesting stuff on YouTube than like your top YouTubers. There's fucking conspiracy theories and aliens and lots of other cool stuff.
Anything your heart desires, except for certain very taboo subjects.
Very taboo. Well, like certain taboo topics we're not going to get into right now.
Because we're on YouTube.
Yeah. Things pertaining to illnesses. Okay, but speaking of illnesses, we are going to react and watch a video. We're probably definitely not going to get through this because it's 48 minutes, and usually 25-minute videos we find it difficult to get through. But this one is from Vice. We do a lot of Vice videos. I got to mix it up. I got to find other channels to subscribe to. But this one is a man who is prepping his family for a war against zombies. Initial thoughts?
I don't know what to make of this. You've heard of your typical doomsday prepper, but this guy specifically against zombies.
Oh, also the fact that he's prepping his family. It's not just for him.
Yeah, that's true. His family has to at least buy into it.
Is this like borderline child abuse or not? Because or it's too soon to even say and make any opinions like that. So
I don't think so. As long as it's prepping. If he doesn't think there's an active war against zombies, then.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, how could it be considered child abuse if you just told your kids, like, hey, these are some survival instincts, and, you know, this is going to be useful to you one day. Yeah, it might not be, but at the same time, it's like not, like, useless information.
Yeah. It's not like he's saying, hey, there's something out there we all have to hide, and only daddy gets to go outside.
Well, we don't know that yet. It could be that.
Hey, that's true.
Let's actually get into the video, so let's start her off.
When was this video made?
This one's like recent. This one's in the last week, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Zombie viruses or chemical contagions taking over, or not to ruin anybody's hope for the future, but things are going to get bad. If you sweat more in training, you'll bleed less in battle. Zombies could come.
I like that.
He's a bit larger than I was expecting.
Larger how?
When you think about a guy that's worried about a zombie apocalypse, I'm not thinking large, chunky guy.
You buy into the Zombieland like rule, like cardio. You just, what was it like? Do you remember Zombieland? One of the top rules was like just cardio because like the first people to go were the fatties because they couldn't run away.
That rule makes sense.
If we're talking about running zombies, there's two different classifications of zombies.
He's got to be ready for any kind of zombie.
That's true. Good life advice. All right.
Where does it look like they are? Somewhere.
It's the woods. I have no idea.
Midwest, Kentucky.
Sure, let's say Kentucky, but how can we even say from this one shot? It's just the woods.
Okay.
It's vague. I don't know. Those they don't look like fir trees, so I'm gonna say they're in Georgia.
I'm already thinking I like this guy in the cutout jean jacket, camo pants, and what is that, a fedora?
I like the balding dude who still has a ponytail.
I can't see his head.
You can't? No, you can't?
No, our faces are covering it up.
Oh, move the screen, or can you?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I forget I can do that. Oh.
No, seriously, he's balding
I kind of like it.
He's balding and still has a ponytail.
All right.
Make sure that you train to be the hardest motherfucker that any zombie tries to kill. I have my little ones training since they could walk.
Michael teaching the kids about the zombie. I think it's absurd.
See, like physical fitness, there's nothing wrong with
that kid. Doesn't look happy.
No, of course not. But there's nothing wrong about teaching your kid physical fitness, right?
To an extent. I mean, there's only certain kids can only get so fit because their bodies really aren't meant to build muscle that much. Not until you like hit puberty.
What about Gohan?
Well, I didn't factor in the whole Super Saiyan.
That kid was training harder than you and I ever could at the age of 5. So I'm just saying.
There are the mini Schwarzenegger kids, but usually that's not a good thing for kids.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna like lay out some bullshit like it's not good for kids, I just want you to consider all facts, like Gohan.
Okay. I'll remember that throughout the rest of this video.
Don't just ignore the facts that are Dragon Ball Z.
Third.
Dragon Ball
Here
Z.
we go. This is going to be an argument. Don't start fighting.
Let's be honest here. Do you think there's a fear of daddy not accepting me if I don't do his regimen?
This looks like it'd be multiple families. I mean, we could be following multiple.
Actually, it does. But it's prepping my family.
Yeah. That dude looked like a prepper.
You think this is a little bit cosplay, or do these people believe it?
Is the birds aren't real guy cosplay?
He came out and said it was made up.
I don't know.
You're still not sure?
No. About birds aren't real. That guy was obviously fake. Although he did put out a video I found out recently about how he called the Vice documentary a deep fake.
Okay.
And he was trying to convince everyone that don't believe it. It's a deep fake video. It's all bullshit.
Isn't that what a fake conspiracist would do, though?
Yeah, but it's also what a real conspiracist theory would do.
Exactly.
But no, I'm saying that this guy could be a cosplayer. I mean, but what do you mean by cosplayer? Do I think that you mean look at her.
You could cosplay a zombie apocalypse or prepping for one.
Can you see her? She's wearing cat ears.
She wants to appear like a cougar who they can't eat.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe.
You ever seen Dawn of the Dead? The remake?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Well, it's the one movie that I know that references it, but the zombies don't go after animals. They go after humans. I don't know why, but because in the movie Dawn of the Dead, at least the remake, I haven't seen the original, be fair. Sacrilege, I know. A dog had been living in a garage with tons of zombies for days, and they never attacked the dog. So
yeah,
why would you attack a dog? Dogs are. Oh, I actually had an interesting conversation with my friend this week. Humor me, okay?
Okay, sure.
This is a little bit of a detour, but I just want to know what you think. Simple yes or no answers, okay? Are human beings good? Simple yes or no.
I think we act on our short term.
No. Fucking simple yes or no. I'm not. I know this is a more complex answer that you can give. I'm just giving you what's the basic here? Just yes or no.
If you're gonna go on Plato's definition of good, then
God damn you.
Probably not. No.
Okay. No, human beings are not good. Are dogs good?
They are kind of altruistic for what they what we get out of them, right?
Just say good or not.
Can good even be applied to them?
God damn you. You're the one person.
That's interesting too, because we consider them animals, but we're also our own animals. But I think the fact is we have dominion over other animals, right?
Jesus Christ, you're the one person who has a problem just saying dogs are good.
Good boy.
Yeah. Yes, dogs are good. I only bring up this point. Most people would answer the question: human beings are not good. I think.
I always thought you were gonna go at what point do you shoot a dog?
No. We could go down that path, but we don't.
Okay.
I was going on the path of although we think of human beings as generally being bad, and we generally think of dogs being the epitome of good. They do everything right. This is everyone wants
bad boys.
Everyone loves dogs. Well, I mean they could be raised wrong to be fair, but the idea of a dog is usually good. Human beings genetically engineered dogs to be good.
That's true. We did genetically engineer them, or did they just let it happen?
No.
Yeah, actually, we did.
Bred out
specifically,
we bred the traits that we thought most desirable for dogs, and as a result, dogs are perfect beings. Just saying. So how bad?
Maybe not from an evolutionary standpoint.
Well, they do eat their own shit, but I mean, at the same time, like they are like world's like man's best friend for a good reason.
Who is it? Like English bulldogs have to have like surgery on their faces because
Oh
they
fuck!
can't breathe.
Pugs do that too. Yeah, pugs have been like bred to like really horrifying proportions. I don't understand it. It's they can't breathe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
why should we genetically manipulate ourselves if we can't even get it right with dogs?
Because it's inevitable.
Oh, okay.
Well, what do you think about the Neuralink?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay, but you think it's good?
It seems like the natural step.
Exactly. It's going to happen whether we want it or not.
It seems like the natural step. We'll see if it happens.
But it's funny though because like someone I listen to quite frequently brought this up, but like we used to have to say that we have to adapt society to fit human beings, and now we have to adapt humans to fit society. Society has evolved and progressed so fast that like
That's an interesting point.
It's just not how human beings interact with each other. We are like not. Evolution is not built as for modern society.
Yeah, the way we act in small groups doesn't necessitate how we act in larger groups.
Exactly. Big cities are actually counter to human development.
But it's inevitable because we made it happen.
It is inevitable. I don't know about if we need it to happen, but it is inevitable. People
Well,
I don't know.
We let it happen.
We did let it happen. But I think that like we're seeing a bit of a trend. I think the big cities are dying and like smaller cities are, as like people can work remotely. I think you're going to see more and more small cities or people are going to return to the suburbs or small cities because they don't have to live in the cities anymore.
I was just talking with Junior and Kelsey earlier. I was at that birthday or baby shower, and
baby shower?
they were saying like they were hiring people from out of state for the first time, and I asked if they were giving them lesser salaries, and apparently they say they are giving them lesser salaries because they're living in less tax states or further away, but apparently they have access to see how much they make because they're estimators, and part of the cost is factoring their own cost, and so they can see that they're not actually giving them lesser money to live outside.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wasn't that good?
That's
People
good.
are making like the same wages that they would be living in a city, but they're actually living in lower cost areas.
Yeah,
like
it's
a
just
good
a little
thing.
tongue-in-cheek though, because the company's saying they're paying less, but not actually.
Right.
You have doctors, school teachers, lawyers who live a double life.
We're vampires. We gain, we take.
I'm a
This
researcher.
is taking a different. Oh, is this just like an intro?
I think this is
to
the
us?
intro. Maybe we could skip ahead of this. Although I am interested into seeing in my own world vampires.
I was like, how do we go from zombies to vampires so fast?
It's a natural.
There is a clear obsession.
All right.
Zombies. For the last.
Geez, The Walking Dead went downhill. Not that it was ever that great, but like it really went to shit. And you never watched it, so.
I know, I can't comment on it. Although I have commented on what I thought of the first video.
That was the original purpose of this channel. I was going to make you watch The Walking Dead, but like my edited version, so you had no context to a lot of stuff. My abridged version, but
Yeah.
and I remember you came up with the idea that like he was battling climate change or something.
Yeah, I had no context going in.
It was great stuff.
Last half century, these undead monsters have become a pop culture phenomenon, conquering the planet one movie, TV show, and video game at a time.
What do you think took off the zombie like renaissance?
Video games.
Video games? Yeah.
I think
Anyone in particular?
I don't know if it was Walking Dead. I remember a specific point between like 2007 and 2012, somewhere in there, that there was just a lot of zombie stuff. And then after that, it was considerably less.
Vampires took over.
Or was that before?
Well, like I think. Oh, that's a good question. What came first, the zombie or the vampire craze? When was Twilight? Twilight was like our high school years, wasn't it?
It was kind of more, yeah, I don't know, it was probably around the same time. That was Twilight, but was there any other vampire stuff that came out besides Twilight that really caught on?
Yeah, True Blood on HBO and Vampire Diaries on WB. They were really big shows. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they played for seasons. So,
but nothing like they didn't go over into other media, like into like video games and.
No. Do you think that there's a supernatural creature that's not zombies or vampires that's really hip right now?
What's the hippest,
What's the hippest? What's the craze? What does everyone want to make?
I think zombies are making a tiny comeback. Because out of all those crazy like monster things, zombies kind of could be a little realistic.
Well, they're more plausible than the Wolfman.
Or a vampire.
No, vampires are plausible. But that's a digression.
More plausible than zombies.
28 Days Later was a movie that kind of really made the idea of zombies.
Oh, yeah, they introduced the fast zombie.
Well, no, it's not just that they introduced it's 28 Days Later, I think, was the first to introduce the idea of zombies being an infection. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but like it really took off because prior to that, I think the biggest zombie movies were all like George Romero's like Living Dead series, and they never gave an explanation as to why the zombie. But they rose from the grave. They died and they came back. It wasn't like a virus. It wasn't like a virus.
There was no real explanation for zombies, right?
No. I mean, there's the classic voodoo explanation for zombies that, like, a voodoo witch doctor casts a spell on you. But the Romero era of zombies, I don't think he ever explained what caused the zombies to rise. They did.
Yet it still kind of caught on.
Because they were great movies. Well, I don't even know about that. I love Day of the Dead, but I've never seen the original Dawn of the Dead. Yeah.
Okay.
You ever seen Day of the Dead?
Maybe a long time ago, but I don't remember anything about it.
That's the one where they're all living underground because the apocalypse has already happened, and there's a scientist who's trying to understand a zombie, and he actually bonds with the zombie, and the zombie recognizes the scientist, and then like these survivors kill the scientist. Spoilers, and the zombie is really mad that they killed his friend. I think it's actually really good.
Okay, I mean, maybe.
It's got a lot of 80s kitsch to it, which I love.
I don't know if I watched it or not.
80s movies are superior.
But going back to like the zombie craze, I think it was it was all the movies. When you had what's that Will Smith movie?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
That's vampires.
Technically, if you go off the author's book, but they turned them into zombies.
Yeah,
probably because zombies were bigger in the media at the time.
True, that's very true. But vampires would have been so much better. I don't know. I like I Am Legend the first half at least when he's just by himself, but the second half of the movie is kind of lame to me.
Okay.
Except for when he kills the dog.
In a long time. There you go.
I almost cried at that scene. But.
Oh, well, the World War Z, and then you had was it Left 4 Dead, the video game, really took off.
Oh yeah,
right?
I played that game so many fucking nights with my friends. That's a really good game.
Yeah.
That's a great party game.
And then Plants vs. Zombies.
I played that too. That's good.
That was a very popular game.
I know. So yeah, zombies definitely had a very they had a heyday, like late 2000s, early 2010s. But this guy apparently was a little bit too into the craze, and he's got to basically raise his kids to, this is like pushing Star Wars on your kid, except like his version.
Okay, I like that analogy.
For most, These mindless flesh-eating creatures are just fiction. But for some, they represent a very real threat. Across the country, more and more communities are taking extreme steps for what they believe is inevitable.
Is this just? I think this is just an excuse for people to get together and like fake combat. I mean, this seems like cool. I do this sort of stuff. Hey, you want to go out to the woods, shoot guns, and like practice fighting? Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Shoot. Sounds fun.
I like it. Maybe, I mean, people need reasons to get together, so
Yeah. But look at
an
these people.
inevitable zombie apocalypse. Sure.
How many of these people are surviving a zombie apocalypse? Maybe this guy. Maybe this guy with the sunglasses, the really lame sunglasses. Actually, I'm changing my mind. None of these people are surviving the zombie apocalypse. I'm just saying none of them. Maybe this big dude.
Maybe that guy.
Maybe the guy with the gray shirt. I don't. None of these people would. This is gonna be fun going forward. Let's pick.
But they're trying to. Yeah.
We're gonna pick who actually survives.
A zombie apocalypse.
See, this is cosplay.
This is Zombie Tag. They played this back in my college. This is just a game. Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I'm Mike Preston.
Underrated state.
I'm a federal law enforcement officer. All right, ready?
Oh, he's a cop. The FBI.
Wait, what?
They said he's a federal law enforcement officer.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
And you think there's going to be a zombie apocalypse?
He would know.
I guess out of anyone.
9 years ago, Mike founded a group called the Zombie Response Team, or ZRT.
Right in the height of the craze.
There's my dude. Balding with a ponytail.
Its primary mission is
Remember
to
when we
prepare...
went to that gun show in Mississippi?
Yeah, I remember that. That was the first
They
thing.
had zombie apocalypse survival weapons, didn't they, there?
I'm sure they did, because why wouldn't they? I don't know. I mean, give me your top 3 reasons why you would want to stockpile on weapons. Go.
They're cool.
Okay.
That's
Number
a
2.
reason. They look cool.
You think that? Okay, so you would stockpile up on weapons just because you think it was cool. You didn't really think you were going to ever use them. You just thought they looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine.
Second reason, status.
Status.
You'll have a lot more status if you have more weapons in the zombie apocalypse.
No, you're getting too like
Third,
no.
survival.
Okay, yes. No, survival from what? Okay, so damn it. You're doing this weird thing again. I'm just basic question. Why would a person want to stockpile weapons? Not assuming there's a zombie apocalypse, but that could be one of the reasons. Why would they want to do this?
Oh, we're talking about any weapon.
Yeah, well, I mean, mostly guns, but yeah, you could stockpile any weapon.
They're cool.
Okay, still they're cool.
Some people probably just start buying weapons not realizing they're even stockpiling them, you know. At what point do you become a gun nut? How many guns? How many different types of guns? What do you think it?
I don't know. When do you become a gun nut? I would
Loose on the term nut. You're not actually like.
I know. I'm not
guns,
judging
but...
someone, but like, when do you no longer are what you would call just a
hobbyist,
and you actually are just a gun nut. Like, you go too far. I don't know what the number would be. For me, something reasonable for me would be like if you had 1 rifle, 1 shotgun, and 1 pistol. That would be reasonable to me.
Okay.
If you had maybe 2 or 3 of one type of weapon, like maybe you're really into rifles, so you have 2 or 3 different types of rifles, that could be a hobbyist. But when I think you have like in the like 4 or 5 or more of a certain type of weapon, it gets to the point where it's not a hobby. It's like you're kind of getting into the nutter phase, I guess. What do you think?
You're into guns.
Well, do you agree with my statement? The idea, like, if you just had one of each type of weapon, you're not a nut. You're just prepared for any scenario, I guess.
You like guns, but you're not crazy about guns.
If you had a shotgun, a rifle, 1 shotgun, 1 rifle, and 1 pistol, are you a nut?
Shotgun, hunting, pistol for self-defense, or shotgun self-defense, rifle for hunting.
hunting.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Reasonable.
yeah. Shotguns are way better for self-defense.
Yeah, home invasion, but pistol if you're like.
Oh
you
yeah,
know, if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just,
Out and about. You
Yeah.
can't conceal a shotgun for true. I don't know.
But yeah,
do
I
you own
guess
it?
the numbers of types of guns might matter.
Do you
Like
own
a
it?
couple rifles if you go hunting, sure.
Well, yeah, that's why I say if you're really like just the hobbyist would be someone who maybe like if you really like rifles, maybe you'll have 2 or 3 different kinds because you like them and you're interested in what they can do or maybe how they look. I don't know.
Hmm.
How do you own a gun?
No. Never really thought about it.
Really?
I mean, I'd have to have some sort of scare.
What about the guy in Baton Rouge?
That
You
was
know what I'm
awkward.
You know what I'm
It
talking
didn't
about?
really scare me though.
Wasn't he playing with a Bowie knife?
He was playing with a kitchen knife.
Oh, a kitchen knife. Okay.
He was knifing it in between his walkie-talkie and the missing case where the batteries are, just fiddling around.
Hey, using a knife to open using a knife to open up a battery case is pretty reasonable to me. I just did it yesterday.
There you go. That's probably what he was doing.
Yeah, if you don't have a screwdriver, it's convenient. Doesn't sound like that's what that guy was doing though.
No, he had a walkie-talkie for a reason.
Walkie, really?
To
Got my
call
bitches.
the prostitute, or to get whoever actually had the drugs and tell them that, hey, meet this guy over there.
Oh my god! All right.
That's not the first time I've encountered a guy with a walkie-talkie. In
You have
Vegas,
multiple-
I ran into some guy that offered drugs and had a walkie-talkie.
Jesus Christ! I can't just be a casual walkie-talkie enthusiast anymore.
Not when you have cell phones.
Walkie-talkies are cooler.
They are cooler, yes.
Well, I mean, like, what if you and I each had a walkie-talkie? You know, like in like Stranger Things or many of those other movies where you just have like walkie-talkie buddies under the pillow.
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be cool. But it's when you're a kid. They're much more socially acceptable phones
Well, it's
for
like
kids.
I don't want to like text you. I mean, I want to walkie you. I'm gonna radio you.
What, you want to walkie me?
Radio you or whatever. What's the verb of walkie-talkie?
Walkie-talking?
It's like
Walking and talking?
like the verb of a cell phone is I'm gonna call you. The verb of a walkie-talkie is
Isn't the whole concept of the name walkie-talkie kind of funny?
it's funny, but that's what it is.
Walkie-talkie.
Well, it's like the early movies were like called. You know why we call them movies? Because the picture moves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and like when they started introducing voice, audio in movies, like voice act, they called them talkies.
Oh, but that didn't stay.
Didn't stick. No, people still call them movies.
Because then everyone started watching talkies and no one watched movies.
Yeah, but why is walkie-talkie a silly name, but movie isn't?
Cell phone.
Phony.
Why are they called phonies?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Topic for another podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
For the battle they all think is imminent against the undead hordes.
All right,
Hordes.
last formation on me. So the zombie response team.
I'm loving the dude with the balding bony ponytail. This is exactly.
Is this the Dale?
That's
from
Dale,
King of-
exactly. From King of the Hill. That's Dale. Yep. There's a little bit of Dale in everyone. I think there's a lot of Dale in me, unfortunately.
That's why people, if they don't relate to him, they at least know someone like him.
You know me.
You don't have the shades and the cigarette and the hat yet, though.
No. But true story. Mary might have prevented me from being the next Unabomber.
Well, you know.
I was that kind of person. All joking because this is a comedy show. Yeah, I was fascinated with the antisocial kind of part of me, and I thought, like, what if I just bought a plot of land and plotted my scheme, plotted my scheme. That's such a fucking weird. It doesn't mean anything.
Started scheming.
I schemed my plot.
Yeah. I think a plot is actually it's actually entailed scheming is just the idea.
I used to have a guy who, my boss, one of my former bosses, he never had a plan. He always had a scheme, and he was specific to tell us that it was a scheme, not a plan.
I think a scheme means you're not entirely sure it's going to work.
Maybe.
Team originally is pretty much me and a few random buddies, prepping, camping, survival type stuff. So we all came together and we formed this Facebook page. And we started putting up posts of survival tips, stuff like that.
Well, here's where we have everything that
I got no problem with that. That's pretty cool to me. What do you think?
We got some canned foods, some
dried foods. He's got water, plenty of water.
Some tubs for pooping in.
Yeah. This all seems reasonable to me. Or am I just weird?
If this is for family, I mean, if you have the space and the money, sure.
I've always wanted to build up like a bomb shelter in my backyard. Like actually rent an excavator and dig down and build a bomb shelter hidden under the ground. That'd be fucking awesome.
I mean,
wouldn't you want?
It'd have to be multi-purpose. Like I'd have to be able to use the bomb shelter for something else.
Oh, I'd definitely take people down there just to drink beer and like watch like porn.
You want to go?
Oh yeah,
get wasted in the bomb shelter.
Yeah, seriously. If I built a bomb shelter, I'm not just using it for the shelter. I'm saying like, hey, you want to check out my shelter? We can get drunk down there.
I think you miss your basement.
Yeah, I do like basements. Sub-Earth.
There's something about a basement, yeah. That.
Yeah, you gotta have a basement. A garage is nice too, but I think a basement's really kind of a nice. Just feels really like your getaway. I don't know why.
I don't know, because you're in the most like enclosed space possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was never really a basement guy, but I didn't grow up with a basement, so.
That's because we live in Washington. There's no point to basements.
It's more of a Midwest thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah, it's more of a Midwest thing because you need basements because you'll survive, and two, it doesn't rain as much out there. Building a basement in Washington is just fucking stupid.
And it's a good place to store things, not above ground.
Until it floods.
Ooh.
your supply of food here.
And all of a sudden, we started developing this huge fan base, and it got bigger and bigger. So then we started developing training videos, and it started getting more and more serious.
Like Mike, some members are ex-military or law enforcement officers.
I want to know, which is the ponytail guy? Is he ex-military or is he a law enforcement officer?
Sounds to me military.
You think military?
You don't get away with that look unless you haven't been in the military in a while.
Like a Vietnam vet, maybe, but those are usually like the horror shows. But
police guys are usually a little bit more like kept and put together. Ex-military, you were overseas for a while doing some stuff, and you've been out for a while.
Have you Have you ever seen a police officer with long hair? They got the crew cut or they got the flat top. That's the only two approved hairstyles for cops, pretty much.
I don't know if I've seen an ex-police guy, though, with long hair. I don't meet a lot of ex-policemen, though.
Just wait. I need to get another drink. So, want to pause?
Sure.
Oh, cherry. Uh-oh, he left. Martin, you there? Oh, he went to get a drink.
Wait. All right. You're not the only one drinking this cast.
I'm not drinking.
Oh.
It won't even show up. It's bubbly.
Oh, well, I'm the only one drinking this podcast.
Oh, it's a little role reversal.
It is.
It's funny. No, I decided to take a break from drinking for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
I was probably drinking way too much back in December, and I just
That
thought,
was
like,
your, sorry to interrupt you, but that was your New Year's Eve resolution, right?
was it? Did I tell you that? We might have said that when we were out in the bars in Houston. If I said like I'm just gonna plan on drinking less, but I definitely
Yeah.
won't. So far, it's so good. I think I'll drink during the Super Bowl and just maybe one beer, but
Yeah?
yeah, that's kind of like my goal is to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Just a nice little refresher.
It's been nice. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, but doesn't mean we still can't do the podcast. And maybe going forward, I might still have.
I'm sorry, I quit drinking. We can't do the podcast.
The drinking makes it more fun. It does, but like we could always do the podcast even if I don't drink. All right. Yeah, we're on law enforcement. I was gonna. Oh, have you been watching the playoffs? This is a complete detour. Sorry, really quickly. Have you been watching the playoffs?
I watched the ending of the Bucks and Rams game earlier with
Damn.
Bobby and Junior.
Yeah.
Then I saw the tying field goal for the Bills and the Chiefs.
I did not watch the Bills Chiefs game only because it was the one game that wasn't on Yahoo. And Yahoo's free. But that's the one game I really want. Apparently, I really wanted to watch because it was a really good game. Apparently, like 25 points scored in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
What, Grayson was saying. It was like a nuts last 2 minutes, like the Hawks and Packers.
Yeah, but the only problem for me now is the Chiefs won, so I got nothing left.
Oh, the Chiefs win?
Oh,
Okay.
you didn't hear? Yeah, the Chiefs won.
No.
Yep. So the good news is I was 3-1 in my predictions this week. The bad news is I have no one left to root for. I guess I'll go. I guess I'm all in on the Bengals. But
Okay.
I wanted the Bills from the beginning of the playoffs. I wanted the Bills.
I wanted the Bills too.
Everyone did, kind of.
I don't know about the Bengals because I never expected them to get in.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Everyone picked the Ravens or the Browns. No one was picking the Bengals. Funny enough, I think more people picked the Ravens and the Browns than the Steelers and the Bengals. And the Steelers and the Bengals are the two teams that went.
Probably. I know.
Crazy.
It just shows you how much in Ohio people like the Bengals.
Well, I have a friend who's from Ohio. Cincinnati's basically on the border with Kentucky.
Hell country.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's pretty much on the border with Kentucky. So I think a lot of people in Ohio think of Cincinnati more as Kentucky.
Yeah, I could see that. I've been in southern Ohio, and it's kind of a little bit different than most of the rest of Ohio.
Right. More hills. More hill
Mhm.
country. So, yeah, like, I mean, my friend from Ohio, he's a Steelers fan, but, like, his father was a Browns fan. And, like, yeah, I don't think there's much love for the Bengals in Ohio. But
The Bungles.
they haven't been good for a long time. But that was a little detour. But point is, I guess I wouldn't mind Patrick Mahomes winning another Super Bowl, but I don't care. I guess I don't know. I really don't like the Niners and I really don't like the Rams. So what do I do? I got to root for whoever the AFC is.
I don't hate the Rams this year because I don't hate Matt Stafford. Just because he was with the Lions for so long.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I like Cooper Kupp because he's from Washington.
Is he really?
He's from Yakima.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He went to Eastern Washington. Yeah,
The best wide receiver in the country is from Washington? Wow.
nearly broke the receiving record this year. Granted, one more game in the season, but
Yeah, true. Isn't it weird that Matthew Stafford now has the number 1 and number 2 top receivers in NFL history?
yeah,
Yeah, because Calvin Johnson has the record.
Yeah.
And he was the quarterback throwing to Calvin Johnson.
So Matt Stafford must have a thing for throwing to specific
One
players.
guy. Once you figure out that one guy who's your reliable target, you always go to him.
Yeah, Cup is a little bit of a surprise though. I mean,
He's been known for years, but you never thought of him as a superstar.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably because he's white.
Ooh, the dreaded stigma of the white wide receiver. Fucking like Jordy Nelson and Julian Edelman are just rolling right now. But it's true.
Be me?
It's true. If you're a white wide receiver, you have a stigma to you because no one assumes you're any good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
There
certainly have been really good wide receivers, but because
not many, really. Honestly, not that many. There's been a lot of good white tight ends, but not many good white wide receivers.
Okay.
Name 5.
5, like in NFL history, or just within the last 20 years?
Well, don't go NFL. Don't go to the 50s. Go, go like 20, 30 years.
Okay,
Let's say
20, 30.
San Francisco, the 80s onward. Give me 5 good ones. I know the first name that's going to come up.
I was going to say, well, we have Cooper Kupp.
Is he, though? Okay, fine. We'll count him because of this.
He's in the record books now.
Yes,
He's considered, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Or somewhat record books.
Fine.
Number 2.
You know how easy I could just say if I wanted to pick black wide receivers? Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Chad Jones.
I'm trying to think of the best.
Like, just give me 5 names that we would know. Everyone would know.
Everyone would know. What's it?
Chris Carter.
Ed McCaffrey.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's dad.
What the fuck? Who knows that guy?
I know him.
What?
I just thought of it.
What did he do? I've never heard of this guy.
Jordy Nelson was a good one.
Jordy Nelson, maybe, yeah. Face it, there's a stigma to white wide receivers.
That's true. Even more towards white running backs. I think Christian McCaffrey was kind of maybe one of the lone exceptions.
Yeah, I know, right? There's not
Yeah.
many fucking good skilled players, like white skilled players. A lot of tight ends, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, once everyone gets bigger, it kind of averages out, doesn't it?
It does.
It's only at the smaller positions for whatever, or slimmer, more athletic positions.
Yeah. Do you? I can go down a really bad rabbit hole right now. No.
Why are all these zombie preppers white?
Yeah. Right, exactly. Well, we're in southern Ohio, or wait, we're in Pennsylvania.
No,
so,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Still.
So, I don't know. Why? Because you can't. Okay, so if you go to a rural area, you're like 90% white usually, or more. And you can't be a prepper in an urban area because it doesn't make any sense to be a prepper there.
You gotta worry about everyday life a little bit more.
Maybe, but you just don't have the this. We've talked about this in the past. The difference
housing,
between city and
you don't
country
have,
people. Country people have to be a little more self-reliant.
That's true.
All right.
Mostly they're
We're an hour into this podcast and we're only 2 minutes into the video.
I don't like her piercing.
We're never going to finish this. Let's see if we can get to 10 minutes.
ordinary men and women who believe they're preparing for the worst.
Dude, this guy shows up in every video now. Oh, yeah, I don't like her
Hold
piercing
on.
either.
These are becoming more popular. You can't see my finger, but yeah, the septum piercing with women.
Do you like
I
that?
don't like it. I know a few women like that have gotten it.
I'm not really big on piercings in general, but like only the ear. Like you just do ear and not the like she's got the gauge or the loop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really into body mod in general. I don't like tattoos or piercings, but like for
I don't
me,
mind tattoos. It just it depends on like where it is.
No, for me, I just don't find it attractive.
Any tattoo? Anywhere.
I mean, I'm sure you can do like an ankle tattoo, but it wouldn't bother me. But like, if a woman had a full sleeve, I'm not into that. Are you?
I could do full sleeve.
Okay.
Anything like around the chest area, I usually don't like.
What about the tramp stamp?
I'm not in love with it. Definitely that. I don't know.
Yeah, just
But
not...
anything on the arms and legs is fine with me.
Okay. Well, to each their own, really. I got no problem with people doing it. Just I don't personally find it attractive.
Piercings, though, I mean, anything really outside of like ears, I'm not crazy about.
What about
I guess
branding? People
Don't see it too often.
People do brands.
I wasn't in the Nixum cult or Nexium cult.
Different okay.
For many, getting ready for disaster means securing food and shelter. But for those focused on zombies, the thought of being attacked by reanimated humans with the hunger for flesh pushes the preparations to a whole other level.
Yeah. I got nothing to say.
We got kids inside, don't know exactly where they're at, have zombies in the area, don't know how many, don't know their exact locations. Our mission is pretty much to get in, get the kids, get out.
This tactical training mission...
This would kind of be fun as a kid.
This would be fun as an adult.
But, I mean, if those are live guns, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they're not. You can see that they're pellet guns. Look.
Okay.
Well, you can see with the orange tips.
All right. If they were actually real guns,
I don't think you would be training with live rounds, okay?
I think that they're all military and law enforcement or ex,
Which means,
I would assume.
Which means they're well versed in gun safety. They wouldn't be training with live ammo. All right.
Features airsoft pellet guns that are unloaded, and the undead targets are played by friends and family.
All right, me and Joe.
It's a game. I think this is a game.
None of this is real prepping yet.
Joe got the right side of the door. You guys get the left side of the door. Stack up.
I still like Fedora Man.
I like fucking ponytail dude.
Oh, contact. All right, going in. Ready? Move.
This exercise may seem like little more than an elaborate cosplay battle.
Kids up top. Kids up top.
He said it.
He jumped the shark right there.
Is Doug the leader or is Doug my guy with the ponytail?
I think Doug might be the guy with the ponytail.
All right.
Oh, this was a toughie, huh?
All right, so Doug's got 6.
But for the ZRT,
Quite honestly, this is a pretty cool obstacle course. This would be fun just to do.
It'd take a while to build.
Yeah, that's true, but it's a great
These people are serious, though. Somewhat serious. It sounded like it started off as just like it's just something small. Like some guys were like, "Oh, why don't we just do this?" And then it just kind of slowly started taking off. Like it got a lot bigger than they were ever expecting.
Yeah, maybe. But the sad part is this video is 47 minutes. The part of this video that's going to be the really high drama, the stuff we want to see, is I'm prepping my family. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to it tonight. That's the sad part. Shit. Because that's the part I really want to see.
it means the difference between life and death in the event of a zombie uprising.
Zombie pretty much could be anything from an actual undead person to a person who was affected by some type of virus or a chemical contagion. There's different.
We're getting into the classifications of zombie. He actually is well versed, I understand.
I like how we started with an actual undead person or
Is that plausible, though? Can we just say that there's a possibility that they're going to rise from the grave? No? Okay, we can say that they're going to get infected with a virus that makes them cannibals, but we can't say that they're going to rise from the grave. Okay, I just want to know the rules. But
sure.
I agree.
I mean,
I agree that the virus is much more plausible.
but actually undead can. I don't know if we'll ever be able to reanimate corpses.
Why would anyone want to? Is that would that be like a ethics violation for a scientist?
Would it be?
Frankenstein? Is Frankenstein a zombie technically?
I was wondering about that earlier. I was like, did zombies come from the whole Frankenstein thing? Because that really is like the first thing that was alive.
No.
And then he.
Sorry,
No?
the zombies, the myth of zombies begins with like voodoo.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because like I think there was this like
Wouldn't that be more of a possession thing then?
yeah, because I think the voodoo witch doctor would basically choose people as to be his slaves after they die. So he would perform chants or curses on people that killed him, and when he could rise them from their dead, they would become like his mindless minions and slaves. So
Okay.
yeah, as far as I know, that's the original myth of zombies.
I'm finding the virus much more plausible.
What if it's a mutation from coronavirus? Oh, I said it. This video is gonna get taken down now. It's gonna get throttled, no views. So basically, just every
What
other
if
video.
it's society's reaction to lockdown?
It's the proper reaction.
Different biolabs around the world that are experimenting with different diseases all the time. Or who knows what's evolving in nature. So something's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
It's a matter
Okay.
of when, not if.
When?
When?
If not when.
Well, on a long enough timeline, I suppose so.
The crazy thing is we do see kind of zombie-like things in nature, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, there is like something like a bug that basically plants its like eggs inside brainworms. Controls like the minds of. Yeah,
Thinking of
there's-
ants. Ants. It's
I-
like a fungi that
did-
infects ants.
I think there's a parasite in the Amazon that actually burrows into people's brains. And I can yeah, I'm pretty sure about this. Should we stop? No, we can't stop for this.
Well, and then the other thing is, like, have you heard about like the cat virus too that infects mice and makes them less scared of cats?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
know
that's
this.
a real thing. That's why they theorize that people are into cat videos. It's a weird thing, but it could be true. Yeah, it's some virus or some sort of microorganism that infects mice and makes them less scared of cats.
Have I ever told you my main thesis as to why the world's gone crazy? My main theory as to why things have gone to hell.
When did this theory start?
I picked this up like relatively recently. I sort of
Okay.
I theorized it within the last 6 months, but I think I figured this all out. The problem with the world is that too many women are adopting too many cats. That's the main problem with the world.
I don't know a lot of women that.
There's a lot more women with a lot more cats. Too many cats. Too many cats.
Cat women.
Cat women, yeah, absolutely. That's a problem.
You know, a crazy fact I heard recently.
What's that?
Kind of different about, besides women, but about men, but not men in general.
You're being really big.
In China,
something about specific men. Chinese men, okay.
Yeah, in China, there is, because of the one child policy, they tend to choose more men or boys over girls when they're having kids or try to.
Yeah, they drown girls.
They do some awful things. But because of that, there is now 300 million more men in China than women, a population the size of like almost the entire United States, which is kind of like mind blowing.
Yeah, because the one child policy basically says that like you get 2 chances at a child. 2 chances at a boy, really. If your firstborn is a son, then you can't have a second kid. But if your firstborn is a daughter, you can try again for one more.
Okay, I forgot about that. Was that I thought it was just one.
No. The policy basically gives you permission to give a second try if you don't have a son on your first go.
Okay.
But that's why a lot of people were drowning their kids, their daughters, because they want a son. And by having a daughter, like with your, let's say, so you have your firstborn who's a daughter. Okay, we love her. We're going to take care of her. Now we have one more try to get a son. It's another girl. Fuck. Well, we still want a son. What are you going to do with this kid? You do what you would naturally do if you want a son. You drown the daughter.
Because they can't afford to raise the daughter?
No, it has nothing to do with affordability. It has everything to do with the fact that, like, you want a son. Sons are economic benefits in families. Daughters are seen as economic liabilities.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
like, if you have 2 daughters, you do not have a son. That's simple. So if the second daughter happens to die, you can try again.
So what's the economic liabilities of having 300 million more men than women in the country?
Well, I've always heard this, like, a society of 100 men and 1 woman can produce 1 baby. A society of 1 man and 100 women can produce 100 babies. So 300 million more men.
There's some bottlenecking.
300 million more men versus women means that there's going to be a lot of lonely men, and there's going to be a huge population decrease in the next generation. Yes.
And from what we know, a lot of lonely men are a lot more dangerous than lonely women.
Well, women don't get lonely. They just adopt cats.
So the problem is loneliness.
No, they're adopting the cats. That's the problem.
What do men need to adopt?
They just basically get off watching porn and playing video games. That's it.
But that makes them effeminate. They can't be effeminate, in China.
No, but porn and video games can get you a long way. Look, I don't know what the Chinese men are doing basically to handle their problem with that they're not getting laid. But that's what American men do, at least.
I don't know what the Chinese men doing, but in America, we watch porn.
Porn and video games satisfies the basic male need. Sex and violence.
Oh, God.
All right. Speaking of violence.
What makes the zombie response team different than other preppers is we're not just hoarding equipment. So our focus is to teach people how to defend themselves, and that's through training, physical training, weapons training. You guys okay? Anybody bit? All right.
I like that they came out and said it's just to teach them training and like weapons training.
Part of this is like really actually, I don't know what you would. It's part of this is actually pretty responsible parenting and actual training, real life training. But then they infuse the zombie part of it, which makes it laughable always. But
I think this is how they try to teach kids to prep for the future.
Yeah, exactly. But
it makes it more acceptable.
But they think the future is zombies
until they believe that Santa's not real.
What?
That's the thing. Zombies aren't real. Santa's not real. This is how we prep.
Santa is a prep for life.
It's a teaching thing to make it more easier for kids to kind of digest.
I thought Santa was in order to get kids to behave.
Sure, there you go. This is in order to teach kids, the values of saving for the future and safety,
and not getting bit.
And certainly not getting bit.
Hey, that's actually a valuable skill, like fucking like crackhead. It doesn't just have to be a zombie that's gonna bite you. It could be someone high on PCP.
That might be worse.
It would be hepatitis.
Jojo, coming down.
Jojo,
get behind me. Follow me closely. I have my little ones training since they could walk.
Uh-oh. Okay, now we're maybe getting into the family stuff.
My kids are not going to fall victims to zombies and become them. They're going to be prepared. They're going to be the ones that are going out there putting zombies down and helping the unprepared people to make it.
Clear.
This would be an abnormal childhood for sure.
I grew up in a zombie prepping family.
I don't want to say what's a normal family versus an abnormal family, but I would say if your parents are trying to prep you for a zombie apocalypse, that's pretty abnormal.
I think you're definitely in the minority in that one. But who knows? 20 more years go by. Well,
what's wrong with being a minority?
Nothing. These kids will know how to properly handle a gun and can food.
Do you hate minorities?
No.
Jesus. Excellent response. Sorry. It's trying to trap you.
The first time I learned about zombies, I was about 10 years old. So I'm alone in my father's house, and Night of the Living Dead came on.
More shattering than your strangest
Hey, Romero.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Night of the
I think that's the one I've
living
seen
dead.
out of all of
And then
them.
I started hearing
That's the
voices
original.
outside in the woods, and I swear zombies were coming out of the woods to get me. So I remember being scared to death and hiding under the bed, and I stayed awake until the next morning when my dad came home, and then I passed out.
So all this came from a childhood thing?
Yeah, childhood trauma of watching a horror movie when you were clearly too young to be watching horror movies. Right?
Did I tell you the scariest movie I watched when I was a kid was Vampire 2000?
Never heard of that one.
Exactly.
Is it scary or is that the joke?
I had nightmares about it.
What's
It's
it
just from the previews.
What's it about?
I don't know.
Like a vampire is worried about Y2K?
That's a good point. I need to revisit that movie at some point.
Maybe we should watch
To
it.
relive my childhood trauma.
Shit, I'm gonna write this down.
That's what made me It made me scared of vampires for like 2 years.
Well, shit, we're gonna. We'll watch this for the podcast. I'll download the movie. We'll watch it. I'll find it, Vampire 2000, and we'll get Tina's insight into his childhood trauma.
I think it was specifically the trailer they had on TV. I don't think I ever actually watched the movie.
What? Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Contact!
Oh no.
Y'all got our six?
Aw.
All right?
That woman had a pretty decent butt.
Stand by, stand by. What was so great about those movies is that the heroes in those movies that survived were what we aspired to be. We wanted to be strong. We wanted to have skills. We wanted to be able to overcome every obstacle. That's kind of how the idea started taking place for the formation of Zombie Response Team years later. Stay behind me. Stay behind me.
I'm hit.
Oh, stop, stop. Stay right here. Mike, take this. Take this. 1, 2, 3, go.
Of course, they choose the little guy. What if one of the big guys decides to be the dummy? Or the one who gets shot? Are they really going to prep that? This guy just got
think
lazy.
so.
The ponytail guy just got lazy as I want to be carried.
Didn't want to try and carry the bigger guys.
Is any of this different from just basic military training at this point, really?
No.
It's just seems to me like basic military training. It doesn't have to be zombies, but except for when you come across someone.
Don't get bit.
Don't get bit.
But still.
Have you been bit? Have you been bit?
Don't get bit. Don't get shot. Don't get shot.
Good advice. Good life advice.
Apply pressure to the wound.
There was a Mo from The Simpsons. He has a great line. I love it. It's like my father always said. Eventually, everyone gets shot.
I can't remember that.
I don't know why this sticks with me, but it's a funny line to me. There's no further context to the line. It's just it's like my father always said. Eventually, everyone gets shot. No, but I guess. No.
Yeah. I think the funniness is just the unexpected line at the end.
All right, we got 6, go. Kids, get in the truck, get in the truck.
Just out of curiosity, if you were in a zombie apocalypse, would you want a big gas guzzling truck or would you want a fucking Prius?
That's a decent question.
Just knowing that gas is going to be harder to find and come by. Do you want something that maybe has more utility because it hauls more, or do you want something that gas is going to be hard to come by? I better get something that's pretty good fuel efficiency.
I think I would want both.
Oh, how are you transporting 2 vehicles?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the caveat. I have to choose one or the other, right?
Right. You can't just say, I want it all. That's like Queen. I want it all and I want it now.
But in a zombie apocalypse, wouldn't I be able to have both?
Yeah, but it defeats the purpose of the question.
Okay, sure.
Okay. You can have anything you want in this zombie apocalypse. You can have Tina.
Well, that's the good question.
Tina. In a zombie apocalypse, there are no laws.
That's true.
You could have any woman. I'm not talking about like a rape. I'm talking about the implication.
Maybe she'd want you more.
I'm saying like, you're the first human being she's seen in 3 days. She needs food. She's not. I mean, if she says no, the answer is no. But she's not gonna say no because of the implication.
It's like if we It's Always Sunny, if we just take them out on the boat, out in the middle of the ocean.
It's an always sunny.
And they say no.
Just so our listeners are aware, I'm not creepy. This is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference.
It's about the implication.
Great show.
Let's go. Shit, where's Bella? Time out.
He named his daughter Bella. We got to wrap it up here soon. We're only 6 minutes in, sadly. But it's been a fun talk. So let's keep watching as much as we can. But let's see. We could probably go for maybe another 10 minutes more.
All right.
No, time out. Stand by.
There are no timeouts in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Isabella!
How to get rid of this? Oh.
Really? You're on your phone in the middle of the apocalypse with zombies?
He said timeout.
Yeah, he did say timeout. I want to know if this is going to turn into a real disappointed father thing.
Yeah, how much of this is for the camera?
I don't know.
Really? You're on your phone. You guys are really not paying attention? We left the kid behind? My
I'm saying they're taking this serious. It's not just a game. Listen to this
own
guy.
daughter would have been zombie food because of you guys. Really? Let's get rescued.
Why is
Tracking my kids with ZRT side of life, I think was able to show the kids more of this side of what I do and what I'm involved in, and they actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I would. There's a certain fun to this, I imagine. Oh, there's yeah, they can make friends through this. Look, they clearly got
All
something.
right, good job. Found it. All right.
After a solid run at returning the undead to the ground, Mike and his
Shit, that's Pennsylvania. That looks beautiful.
Oh yeah, you got small towns. I've driven through two or three that scattered throughout the hills.
I've been to Pennsylvania, but I really didn't do a deep dive into Pennsylvania. Sadly,
When were you in Pennsylvania?
you and I went there. We went to Gettysburg.
Oh, Gettysburg. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, that we weren't deep
Yeah.
in it. Driving across it was nice. Yeah.
Well done. All right.
ZRT battalion head back to his house, where he faces the only thing more terrifying than a zombie.
Hey, Mom.
A disappointed mother who is unnerved by his all-consuming zombie prepper lifestyle.
So how was your childish games you played?
Amazing.
So what went on?
I'll meet all you guys in the back of the yard.
All right,
I'll be out there in 5. Right on. Let me chat with my mommy real quick. My mother is a very strict, old-school Italian lady. So when I started sharing with her my experiences of zombies and prepping, she completely thought I was nuts. And we had several very animated conversations about that.
She's not wrong. Do you think your parents would mind if you focused your entire life onto a single hobby and it became an obsession? Or do you think, like, as long as you were happy and you had friends, you were social, you weren't, like, completely isolated? Do you think they'd care?
Depends what kind of hobby. If I could make money off of it, like a zombie apocalypse, I don't think they would mind.
How
I
do
don't
you
know
make
if he's
money on a
actually.
zombie apocalypse?
I don't know how much money he's making though.
Is he doing this, like, I thought he was, like, a law enforcement officer and this is something he does on the side. Like, this is a hobby. Well, a lifestyle.
Supposedly a lifestyle. I don't know. I thought they were all military and police, but
Oh, you're saying they're all on disability. Where the ponytail guy was limping with a cane, but that might have been just like a recent injury.
he
The
looked
facility
like
was absolutely amazing. At the very end, they had this thing that looks like a medieval castle, huge. So what we did was we said, we're gonna make this we got a report of kids trapped in an elementary school with possible zombies in the area. Don't know how many, but the kids are hiding out.
As a teenager, Mike would always talk about zombies. As he got older, he's really obsessed with this.
They seem the same age. Am I wrong? She doesn't seem that much
I
older.
never noticed that, but they do look a lot closer in age. Maybe because he's bold.
Yeah, she doesn't seem that much older than him.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, he's trying to do everything he can to teach his children how to survive when end times come. So
We got in, some zombies started coming out. We addressed them. We heard the kid.
Yeah, I guess he looks a little younger than her now that I really get a better look at him. But still, he looks.
full
Yeah,
hair. Yeah,
The bald and the gray beard don't help.
Screaming, help,
Yeah.
help, I'm up here. So we made our way up the steps, in formation, more zombies, shot them, got the kids, put the kids in between us, heard other kids screaming, help, help. So we got to the ground floor, more zombies started popping up. We shot them. We get to the truck, and we're like, all right, we're ready to go. Where's Bella? We forgot Bella. So
are you for real?
So I asked the team, we go back and
What? He's explaining the mission to you. You asked.
you forgot Bella.
Yeah, you forgot. Yeah, you think she's disappointed by him messing it up?
Yeah, is she just playing along?
It's like I don't. No. I think she's disappointed, like by like the fact that like she's just so disappointed in his choices. Like why are you describing this scenario to me of like your game like in such detail? Like it matters. It's such.
I thought she was like, you forgot your own daughter.
Maybe let's.
so
Are you for real?
So I asked the team, we go back into the elementary school, Castle. Isabella's sitting down on the steps, playing on her phone, checking social media, while the zombies are all coming up around her about
You're right. You're probably right.
to eat her. And so in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, your friends message you on social media, so you stop the rescue to chat with your friend.
Michael, you don't have to keep pushing them for the zombie stuff. Just go easy. Michael teaching the kids about the zombie, I think it's absurd.
Did your father ever like try to get you interested in his hobbies?
I guess like and fishing. Never really got into it though, just because we always fished at a lake.
You're right. You live in so like.
It's a little bit when it's just like they're planting fish in the lake, but I never got into like
Like, what were your father's main hobbies? You think?
can you call like religion a hobby?
Yeah. Okay. For the sake of this conversation, yeah, you can.
That's probably the main one. Couldn't escape from that.
Do you think he tried to push?
Fishing was definitely like pushed on. Working on cars.
Okay.
I had to work on cars at some point, but I don't really think I gained anything from it. My main goal was like, when I grow up, I don't want to have to be doing this.
Well, good on you. Do you think he pushed those hobbies on you?
No.
Not the religion?
When I got to a certain age, I don't think he pressured me. No.
Okay.
Maybe if I got to a certain age and I wasn't religious, maybe it was more like, okay, you need to do something else with your life now. But if I had stayed like in the church, I don't think it would have been an issue.
Right. Now, this father is pushing the zombies thing on his kids.
Yeah, he sounds like he's a pusher. Like that doesn't sound like they have a choice so much.
Right.
I do.
No, that's not as nice.
That's looking like Pennsylvania too.
Guys, really? You're rotting your brains on this. Let's go. I got next.
The guy who basically lives his entire life for zombies says you're rotting your brains.
Well, this whole problem, you shouldn't have even given them to him.
Yeah.
They didn't
Oh
want
yeah.
them.
You know, another huge digression. I'm not giving my kids phones until they're at least 16.
At least, I would go younger than that.
No. Where is my kid gonna be where I need to call, where I don't know where they are?
It's not a know where they are thing with me. I want them at least familiar with technology. Know how to use and navigate a smartphone.
Fucking smartphones. The point is that they're user friendly. I don't think that it takes that many
I don't know. I
years.
couldn't figure out how to use my boss's iPhone.
I don't think that it takes many years to learn phones. I think there's more valuable things you can be learning in your adolescence.
Well, I'd say they're interested in building apps when they're 13 and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, if that's what they want to do, sure. But if they just want to mindlessly surf on the internet, then no.
Well, how are they going to get interested in building apps if they never had access to a smartphone before that?
Well, good question. That's probably why they probably aren't going to be interested in building apps. I'll worry about them whatever else they want to do.
The thing with kids, unless you're a complete authoritarian, they tend to find ways to.
I am going to be a complete authoritarian. Fuck yeah. It's my only chance to be.
Yeah.
I'm powerless in the rest of my life, so I'm going to make my kids' life a living hell.
I do agree that the smartphone access should be limited.
Okay.
Especially at a younger age.
Follow me. Let's go. We're going in the kitchen. Come on. Let's go. I'm the father of 5. I have 3 daughters, Gia, Isabella, and Lily. And 2 sons.
He has a cigar in his
Jameson
mouth.
and Anthony.
Did he?
Isabella
I thought
and
he
Lily.
did.
Oh, looks like it, yeah.
And 2 sons, Jameson and Anthony. So Sarah is actually the mother of my 3 daughters, and she's a founding member of ZRT. Even though we're not together anymore, we're still really good friends. Kids!
What?
Get over here! Tasha is my fiance, and she's the mother of my 2 sons. She is fairly new to the whole zombie genre, zombie response team. I'm introducing it to her slowly, and she's actually taking an interest in it. Daddy's got to get home.
He's not a bad-looking guy, but that's pretty good for him.
Pennsylvania.
Well,
I was gonna say they're still really good friends. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Oh,
but
you know what I'm most impressed by? The fact that this guy is in his mid-30s to mid-40s or whatever he is, and he still has a big social group of close friends. No, I saw a meme that was quintessential 30s, and it was pretty funny to me. It's speaking as an out-of-touch 30-year-old, what the hell is a group chat? I only have 2 friends, and they don't know each other. I think that's very relatable for a lot of people. The older you get, the fewer friends you have.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I know plenty of people older than group chats.
It's a meme.
Lane has to get out of group chats because he's bothered by all the notifications.
Well, I'm hoping that there's there's a lull that you hit a crest. Or is a crest the high point or a low point? No, crest the high point, right? Whatever.
A peak?
Then a crest would be the low point. Okay, so I'm hoping that there's a crest in your midlife where basically you don't have enough time for friendships, but later on in life you do, so then you're able to have better connections with friends again. Because in your teens and 20s you have tons of friends. I think in your 30s and 40s you have less. That's usually the years you start a family, right? Then the kids grow up, and then you have more time for friends.
Usually that would be the natural way of things.
That is the natural way of things.
All right, we really don't.
Well,
I'm really sorry. We already.
Went over time. Shoot. Let's. I'm sorry. Let's finish this scene, and we'll give our final thoughts. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All the stuff that I've been through, I love being able to pass that knowledge on to the next generation. I feel like I'm helping them to become better,
What has he been
stronger,
through?
brighter.
Well, he's ex-military, right, or ex-cop.
But the knowledge, though, is about zombies. Or is this his segue into I'm actually just teaching them about the essential ways to survive?
It's metaphorical zombies.
Meta zombies.
You're smarter. Look at that. Don't touch it.
God.
Mike believes that in the event of a rapidly spreading zombie contagion, society would quickly collapse, and it would be every man, woman, and child for themselves. So he wants to make sure his kids can survive on their own.
Okay, this is a little extreme. I was kind of almost with him up until this point.
Hey, kids. I mean, if you're teaching them how to butcher food, I mean...
Maybe.
Without the help of strangers. If the world is
crying,
ever swarmed by infectious ghouls, hands-on first aid skills will be key.
So these are actually pig's feet. The reason that we're going to use pig's feet is because the skin is actually similar to human skin. Make sense?
Sure.
All right, so first thing we do is put on gloves. Lil, keep your head up. You got to watch. You got to look.
So disgusted right now.
All right, look.
Smells.
So imagine if that was a slice that you got on your hand from a knife or a piece of glass or something like that, right? So what we want to do is we want to mark 2 dots at the exact center of that slice on either side. So now, if we were doing this on a person, right, you want to sterilize that needle, right? If you take this...
This is actually really good medical training.
I was gonna say it may have seemed like, I don't know, it could have gone a lot worse, but...
Yeah, it could have. All right, maybe we should end on that one. You can maybe pick this up off at another podcast. There's so many videos we haven't finished. Unfortunately,
we don't finish any videos.
We just don't have much time for these podcasts. You're a busy guy. I could do them. Anyways, any final thoughts? We barely scratched the surface of this. I wish this is the kind of stuff I really wanted to be seeing for this video, but we didn't get to it until very late.
Yeah, I mean, my question is still how much of this is prepping and how much of this is this guy actually has. I don't know. I could say he maybe has an obsession at this point, but it doesn't seem that terrible.
Yeah.
It seems like, oh, this is the life with the guy obsessed with zombies.
It always comes that fine line. When does a hobby become an obsession?
He could do all this without zombies.
Yeah, but it would still be an obsession?
Yeah.
Hey,
I think so.
I see that he has a social life based on around this. I think that's pretty cool. I wish I had more hobbies that were social. I don't.
I don't know if this would be to the same degree if it didn't take off like it did.
Maybe, but the fact that it did tells me that there are people out there of like-minded people. They want to enjoy this sort of stuff. Yeah. Part of me would would join like a sword fighting club if I knew there was one out there. Just to practice that. That'd be fun. Yeah, sure. I don't.
It
Not
probably
like
is. You just don't. Yeah,
not like a full LARPing thing, but just practice sword fighting. Sure, that'd be cool. Anyway,
they're in.
Maybe. Any final thoughts?
Those were my final thoughts.
Oh, right. I already asked that. Okay, for Tina and Karen do the tube, I am Karen.
This is Tina.
All right, everyone stay safe out there and stay hydrated. We love you. Okay.
Never explained the Stafford wives.